Hello, today we are going to try to install Windows 11 in virt kvm QEMU. So I start with this search QEMU how to install Windows 11. I get this YouTube video, and in here in the description of the video it says that Windows 11 requires TPM, UEFI BIOS, secure boot capable, swtpm. Okay, and then there's a Reddit thread which tells us how to install swtpm. Then I search for swtpm Ubuntu, and it says that the package already exists, and the package exists for Kubuntu 2204, which is my distribution that's installed on the hardware machine. So let's look at the details of the package. So it says that the package is called swtpm. This is the deb file, and the source of this package is swtpm, which creates two deb files, swtpm and swtpm tools. So here goes nothing. Let's install these two deb packages. swtpm minus tools. Okay, and already installed. And swtpm depends on a library which is called libtmps0, which this YouTube video says that we need to install manually. So it has a drive google.com, which is this thing, and in here it downloads GitHub libtmps, it builds and installs it, and then downloads GitHub swtpm, builds it and installs it. Okay, and then there's a download link for a Windows 11. There are three options: Windows Install Agent, I don't know what this does, but I'm going to guess it's a Windows executable. Create Windows 11 install media, probably the same. And then download Windows 11 disk image, ISO. Let's do that. So it says 64-bit CPU. I do have that. So where do I download this thing? Download. Select the product language, English US, confirm. Okay. Windows 11 English 64-bit download. This guy. Work to delete ISO. Save. Okay, what else? So there's a get labs done how to install Windows 11 on KVM. So it says create in virt-manager the virtual machine. Just default things. So it will automatically detect it as Windows 10. RAM, CPU cores, hard disk space, Customize, of course, before install. This tutorial uses virt-io. For that, it creates a virt-io SATA disk, puts an additional VNC viewer, not sure why, server. Network interface, virt-io, virt-io driver. Okay. A new CD-ROM device, storage, change the boot order, 2 virtual CD-ROMs. Okay. CPU. TPM, add hardware, TPM, TIS emulated 2.0, TPM v2.0, enable secure boot. Let's do this. Okay, already installed. Chipset I, FFXY. Firmware x86 UEFI. Picking the installation. I don't have a product key. Windows 11 Pro. Accept the license key. Load driver. And then the CD-ROM. So do we have the download complete? Yes. So let's start. Virt. Hopefully we have some storage. New virtual machine. Local install ISO forward. Browse. Refresh. Where are you? Windows 11. Choose. Okay, detected as Microsoft Windows 10. Forward. Let's make this 10 gigabytes. Make this 15, 14. Forward. 200. Forward. Win 11. Customize. Finish. Yes, here it says it should be which the sec boot FIDI. Code. What's that? Code for M. I thought Q35 was the newer one. So let's try that. Q35 versus i440FX. Okay, so Q35 does PCI Express. Let's do that. And I don't know which. Let's try this one. Control W. Okay, so Windows 11 QEMU TCG. What's that? You know, architecture, USRB in QEMU system, x86-64. I'm going with MS, I'm guessing from Microsoft. Apply. OS information, CPUs, topology, no NUMA. What's the difference between 14 cores and 14 threads? Apply. Memory, boot options, SATA disk says to make this virt-IO. Apply. SATA CD-ROM. Okay, network interface cards should be virt-IO. Apply. Tablet display sound. Okay. What else? I need to add the TPM and virt. So Windows 10 virt-IO drivers. Copy link, Ctrl T, Ctrl V. Okay. So I was suggested to install 0.1.2125-2, which is not the latest. So let's go with the latest one. And then the ISO, just one ISO in here. Let's look at the sizes. So this is 500 megabytes and this is 500 megabytes. So it's, I'm going to guess their symlinks to something. So let's go with this. Save. Okay. So let's do the TPM. Enable TPM. Add hardware. TPM. Type emulated. Advanced model TIS version 2. Cancel. Let's go again. Add a TPM. Let's go with the defaults. Maybe they're good enough. Okay, and a CD-ROM for virt. Okay, hardware. So a CD-ROM is a SATA CD-ROM. Storage. Manage. Where are you? Refresh. virt-io, choose volume. Device type, CD-ROM device. Type SATA is okay. Finish. Okay. Can't we rename this thing? We can't. So this is SDB and this is SDC. Okay. Boot options. We want to boot from SATA CD-ROM 1. Not 2. Apply. What else? Okay. Let's try begin installation. Reboot. Force reset. Yes. Boot. Press any key. Okay. So English, US. Next. Install now. I don't have a product key. Windows 11 Pro. Next. I accept the Microsoft software license terms. Next. Custom. So there's no hard disks. Load driver. Browse. virt-io. No. Browse. virt-io. And then what? Okay, not browse. Back. Load driver, okay. And Red Hat virt-io for Windows 11. View store. Next. Drive 0 unallocated space. Click on it. Next. So far so good. So again, we're on Kubuntu 22.04. We have a new enough QEMU available in the Ubuntu deb packages, and the 2-3 packages needed for TPM, for software TPM. in order to install Windows 11. And then we have configured the VM to use virt drivers for network interface card and for the hard disk. So that's why we needed to provide the virt-io CD-ROM ISO for Windows 11 when installing. Otherwise, Windows cannot find the hard disk because it's not a SATA disk, it's not a IDE PATA disk, is another thing which is virt-io. Okay, so it copied files. Let's restart it. We should remove the CD-ROM. Let's do that. So CD-ROMs, the first one, which contains the boot disk, the Windows 11 install ISO. Let's clean this up. Apply. We'll keep the second one, which contains the virt-io. Okay. Choose the country. Was this even 11? Windows 11? Yeah, maybe. QEMU virt-io drivers. For what? For the network. Yeah, for the network interface card. Display driver. Retract QXL. Remove the CD-ROMs. Something seems to happen. United States, US, second skip. Let's connect to the network. I don't have internet. Continue with limited setup. My name. Nah, we can't have that. It's already, there already probably exists a user named administrator. What name should I use there? Admin. Yep. Next. Password. Weak one. Security question. Next. Next. Okay, nothing. Thank you. Accept. So I don't have any network interface cards. I have just one, but that is virt-io. Windows doesn't have a driver for it. If I remember correctly, if I have 0 network interface cards, so if I don't have connection to the internet, Microsoft will not offer me to connect to my Microsoft account will allow me to use Windows with local users. So with Windows users that are created on this Windows machine. Okay. Windows 11, new graphics. In the installer compared to the installer from Windows 10. Don't turn off your PC. Let's see how much CPU it uses. %800 CPU. Okay. Now that we have the VM, what are the next steps that we always take? So first of all, we need virt. How do we do that? From the device manager, Ethernet controller, no Windows Update because there's no internet. The driver, browse, manually browse. This thing, okay. Next. Red Hat virt-io Ethernet adapter. Close. Okay, what else? Display adapter. Microsoft Basic, don't I have? QXL as video. I know, what does it do that? Display adapters. Right click on this basic thing. Update driver. Locator install manually. Yes, E. Next. Install. Not work until you restart your computer. No. Let's do some more things. Computer management. Not this thing. System. Device name. Win 11. Next. Restart later. Let's go with remote. Allow. Apply. Okay. What else can we do in here? Where's the command line? This guy. PowerShell. Let's go for CMD. ipconfig/all. So it's DHCP IPv4 address received from virt 192.168.122.6. Okay. and a reboot, and then we'll try to connect exclusively via the RDP client. So .8, .6, let's write this down. Okay, let's see if reboot works. We should shut it down, in fact. Shut down. Force off. Yes. Okay, let's remove the CD-ROMs. This guy remove. Delete. This guy is empty, so it can remain in here. Okay. Let's start. Let's connect from the terminal. Okay. So we have virt-manager installed. virt-manager nightly. That's installed in /opt. The binary is called xfreerdp. Okay, so let's prepare a command line. Control V. We have a username /uadmin. We have a preferred width, height, and a IP address. We have /video. We have RFX, bits per pixel 32. What else am I missing? Yes, sound. This. And pulse. RFX, yes. Clipboard is automatically redirected by default. We might want to redirect the hardware drives or not. The network speed. Enable desktop composition arrow. Fast path minus. No, we don't want to disable speedy features. Redirect user home as share. We can survive without this. The network, where are you, /n? Yes, that's for the speed. So go /network is LAN, which is the best possible. Okay, the IP address is this thing. And width, that's height 1080. p. And width 1920. Okay, so we need to make space for the window title bar, so that should be 40, and the room for the KD panel, so that's 8. Something like this. Let's see how it looks like. Paste and go. The first connection asks me if I recognize the machine named Windows 11 with the self-signed certificate, so I say yes. The password. So everything seems to be okay. Let's do the terraforming of this virtual machine. So no edge, thank you. Shift delete. Yes. I don't know what this thing is. How do I get rid of you? No chat, no widgets, no search, no task view. What else? Taskbar left. Automatically hide, show the badges. Show my taskbar. Where do I select? The icons that appear in the taskbar. Okay, so I have audio and the network interface card. This is a problem. The fact that there's antiviruses in here. Unpin the things that I never ever use. Use Edge just for a millisecond in order to install Firefox. I don't want to meet Microsoft Edge. I don't want to confirm anything. Stop. So let's go for Firefox. Yes, Firefox is named Opera. Download Firefox. No CDNs, no nothing. Okay, we have a download. Do you want to allow yes? Let's install 7-zip in the meantime. So 64-bit, where are you? Okay, let's customize Firefox. No spacer, no pocket, no head, no spacer. Toolbars, bookmark, never show, done. Okay, settings. Where are you? Okay, download. Always ask. New tab. Blank, blank. This is about it. So Firefox. Pin to start, yes. Where are you? Pin to taskbar. First position. What is this? Pinned. Can't we remove the pinned things? Alarms and clock. Uninstall. Uninstall, of course. Microsoft Store. Unpin. Uninstall. Yes. Unpin from everywhere. What is mail? I don't know. Install. Notepad. paint, unpin, unpin, unpin everything, uninstall tips. Yes. Remove from this list. How can we remove recommended? Okay, and then there was the setting with advertise things occasionally. So show recently added apps. No. No. Okay, what else? So 7-zip, 64-bit, must have. Application, 7-zip. Can unzip ISO files, can unzip MSI files, can unzip XF files, can unzip RAR, 7-zip, zip, etc. Install, close. Okay, unorthodox file manager. That would be total commander, but let's go with double commander for this time. I like it, I download it. So it installs it downloads the 64-bit version. Let's not do that. Okay, I've played enough with Edge. Don't show set as default. Never use the non-incognito version. Okay. Orthodox file manager. Double commander. Yes, change to English. Double commander. Server not found. Okay. Download. Accept. I want Windows. I want portable. This guy. Okay. The download will start shortly. Okay. We're not going to install this one, so we put it in the temp directory. New folder temp. New folder bin. Okay, here save. Or we could create a new folder called c:\temp/opt, as I would do it on Linux. Okay, so we have web browser, we have 7-zip, this guy next is WinMarch. Downloads, the x66 setup, temp bin is okay, save. Let's create a work directory and a, where are you? So extract double cmd using 7-zip. How do I do that? Show more options, 7-zip, this, double cmd, cut this directory, move it up. Okay, I don't need these two things. WinMerge. Yes. Next. This is a difference viewer, diff viewer. no 32-bit, no archive support. I don't know. Create a start menu folder. Enable Explorer context menu integration, yes. Next. Install. What's this? Virt-manager. Finish, yes. Settings. White spaces compare. Tab size 4 insert spaces, thank you. Okay, that's about it. Double commander, always run as administrator. Yes. It's totally huge. Behaviors, colors, configuration. I know what this thing does. This is bookmarks. I don't do bookmarks. File operations. Delete to recycle bin, shift key reverses this thing. Okay. Confirmations. File search. Show menu bar in find files. Multi-rename tool, I don't do this. File views, sort alphabetical. The folders first, directories first. Okay. What else? Show files, extensions. Okay. Column size, columns, folder tabs, favorite tabs, fonts, yes, give me fonts. So let's go with default should be regular and smaller. Editor regular and smaller. Viewer regular, smaller. Regular and smaller. Block font regular and smaller. Can I edit all of the sizes at once? Okay, path font default, apply. A bit better. What else? Sizes, the smallest possible. Apply. Okay, let's restart. Double commander, always run it as administrator. Yes. Pinned to taskbar instead of Windows Explorer. Windows Explorer has no use to me. Okay. What's wrong here? How can I hide things? Options. Where were we? Folder tabs, favorites, fonts, icons. Ignore letters, quick search. Okay, hotkeys, I don't do this. Show main menu, yes. Show toolbar, no thank you. Show drive buttons, no thank you. Show function keys, no thank you. Show command line, yes. Show panel, show status bar. What is the status bar? Yeah, maybe status bar. Current directory, folder tabs. Yeah, could work like this. Okay. No editor yet. Toolbar. Okay, I need an external editor. Let's go for what? Notepad++. Okay, so Notepad++, unhappy users edition. What is that? Portable, yes, portable. Bin, yes. Okay, where is the bin directory? Control T, bin, this guy, npp, extract, here, yes, and too longer name, npp, npp is enough. Okay, let's shift delete this thing, okay, npp, notepad++, we'll open it. The most important thing is that I don't like sessions, so how can I kill sessions? Settings, where are the settings? Here. Preferences. So, tab bar, toolbar, hide, yes. Show status bar, darken inactive tabs. Okay, MISC, auto updater, detect character encoding, minimize to system tray, show only file name in title bar. Use direct writing, enable save all, confirm. Looks okay. Search engine, I don't do that. Can I just kill this thing? No cloud. Clickable links settings. Delimiter. Multi-instance and date. Mono instance. Auto completion. Insert selection, tab, enter, auto completion, function and word. I don't know what this does. Remember current session for next launch? No. Backup on save. Searching. Print. Highlight. language, disabled languages. Tab size 4. Replace by space. Default directory, follow current document. New document. Let's go Unix. Let's go UTF-8. Apply to open. Yeah, sounds good. Margins, border, line number, padding, border width, dark mode. Yeah, let's do that. Line wrap. I want line wrap. Smooth font. Virtual space. Enable multi-encoding. I know, close. Let's open Notepad++. I do something. I'll save this. Stamp. Let's make a work directory. Let's make it to delete directory. Okay, I close Notepad++. And no sessions. Okay, so we didn't remember that when Notepad++, the application has closed, it had one tab open with a new space 1.txt file open in it. Okay, so it looks okay. Does it do colors? Doesn't seem to do dark mode. No problem. We'll use it as it is. Okay. So arrow snap, Windows left, enter, Windows up, enter. Okay. So I can use half of the screen. Why is here a scroll bar? And there's no scroll bar here. Okay, right click on the spacer. I can go 2080. I can go 50-50. Okay, the right pane of double commander needs to be my work. So let's work. Okay, the left pane should be the bin directory. Like this. This is not needed. Okay, let's create a second file, Shift F4, B, Ctrl S. We didn't configure Notepad++ as the editor. Bin npp Notepad++. Okay. So this is F3, the viewer AAA. Shift F4, a.txt, AA, BB, CC, Control S, Alt F4, insert, Shift F10 for the context menu, and then where is WinMarch? Is this a 64-bit process? Where is the task manager? Right click on the start menu, more details, double command. There is a 64-bit process, so it doesn't show me the context menu. Why not? Where is WinMarch in here? Isn't WinMarch 64? Yeah, it's 64-bit. Windows E, Control L, Control V, right click, and it's WinMarch is in here. And is in more options. So I guess it's not showing me the Windows menu. The context menu, where is that? Mouse. Selection by mouse. Scrolling. Open with double click. So it doesn't show the same context menu. The application double commander doesn't show the same file right click menu that's shown by Windows Explorer. And that's a big enough problem that it makes me not be able to use double commander if I can't find a fix. So the context menus look like this. For A, right click, show more options. Where are you? So there's WinMerge 7-zip scan with open with copy, yes. Whereas this one has actions, Open edit print. So the win-merge action is missing. Copy as path. Share. Restore previous version. Everything's there except win-merge. So the problem was in fact in win-merge. The rest of the elements in the context menu were the same except win-merge. So this context menu was identical to this context menu except the win-merge icon was missing. So I went to win-merge and settings, and in the shell integration chapter there was a button register shell extension because just register shell extension for Windows 11 or later was only this action was performed. So it only registered for Windows 10 or later. It didn't register the shell extension in the classical way. So I pressed on this button was already pressed, register shell extension for Windows 11, but the button register shell extension was not pressed, so I pressed it, and now it offers me to unregister shell extension and unregister shell extension for Windows 11 or later. So both these two buttons need to be clicked on. Register shell and register shell for Windows 11. Okay. So now we can compare files. Right click win-merge. Do you want to treat all carriage uses different carriage return types? How did I do that? Yes, because I've edited with the wrong editor. Let's fix this issue. So B was with CRLF, which is Windows New Lines, because I've created a file with a built-in double commander editor, not with Notepad++. Control S doesn't do that. Change CRLF, how do I do that? Encoding. View. Setting language. I know. There was a place to change the end of lines. Edit. And here EOL conversion to Unix. Control S, and now we can compare these two. Win-merge. So they're both Unix, which means \n, not \r/n, not CRLF, but just LF. Okay, so Unix. It can compare it. So there's two files identical, 3 were added on the right, and these were added on the left file in a.txt, or these 3 lines BBB and AA were changed. Okay, escape. What else do we need in here? So we have an editor, file manager, web browser, diff viewer. What are the next things? That I always do on my machines where I develop. So this would be it. Okay, so this was a video about how to install Windows 11 from the official ISO that's offered so generously by Microsoft in virt-manager, KVM, QEMU, the hardware machine runs Kubuntu 22.04. We need to install some Ubuntu dibs. We need the virt ISO, and then we specified that we don't have a Windows license key. We selected Windows 11 Pro, and we've installed Windows 11. Since we didn't have the internet network connection, it allowed me to create a local account on Windows. I did that. I named the account admin. After I finished installing Windows, I named the machine Win11, and then I enabled the RDP server. From there on, I connected with FreeRDP RDP client from Kubuntu 22.04, and then the Windows 11 machine I have terraformed it, which means that I did the common changes to Windows machines that I do on the machines that I work on. So I removed the Windows start menu icons and the Windows toolbar icons that I don't use. I installed Firefox, Unorthodox File Manager as Double Commander. Total Commander is better than Double Commander. I installed a 7-zip for archive support, so I can go right-click, 7-zip compress. I installed WinMerge for comparing files. I installed a text editor, which is NPP, Notepad++. I configured it. I disabled Notepad++ sessions. I've enabled dark mode. I've edited Double Commander because everything was huge. The fonts were huge, icons were huge. So I made them smaller, and then I configured Double Commander to use Notepad++ as a text editor. And the next two things that I always do is I disable Windows Defender, because I don't want it to use my CPU. It's called Microsoft Defender Antivirus, and there's the set local group policy, turn off Microsoft Defender Antivirus. I go enable, apply, and the other thing that I configure is Windows Update. Where are you? Windows Components, Windows Update. What is this? This is a change from Windows 10. So local computer policy, yes. Computer configuration, yes. Administrative templates, yes. Windows components, yes. Windows Update, yes. And then it goes legacy policies. Do not enable. I don't want it to install updates automatically. This guy. So I go disabled automatic updates, apply, OK. Windows Update was not disabled, it continues to work correctly, but it doesn't do things automatically. If I really want to install updates, I go to the Windows Start menu and I search for updates inside of the settings application. Okay, so manually I can update Windows. Automatically Windows will not update my Windows for me. And the same with Windows Defender. I can run it manually if I want, but it will not run in the background and chew up my CPU and my hard disk. So let's look at so in order to get at the hidden context menu, I go right click on the start menu I have in here task manager. I am looking for the antivirus to make sure it's stopped. So I sort things descending by CPU. It doesn't show in here. I go performance. It says 14 virtual processors, 1 socket, virtual machine. CPU should never go up above 10% because there's 14 virtual processors and the CPU is really strong. RAM 10 gigabytes. Of course, it's not going to be used at all. Okay, disk is hopefully a hard disk, not an SSD. Why not? So it's a SSD because I can see the usage time is 0%. Open resource monitor. I go with disk, total descending, and storage active time. Let's hide the right hand sidebar. So it says perfmon and system are using the hard disk, and system is writing to the NTFS journal. This is the Windows registry, I'm going to guess. It's really important that there's no usage of the swap file, which in Windows is called, where are you? Configuration options. I want to show hidden files. Where is that? I don't really know how to use double commander. I show hidden files. Show system and hidden files. Apply. So file views extra. The swap file used to be called page file on Windows. Okay, really important that nobody writes or reads c:\page file, which you can see in here if you sort by file name. And you can see that enough RAM exists and nobody is swapping because the active hard disk time is way less than 10%. And then there's enough free memory available, 7 gigabytes. This is the antivirus. So it's a ton of RAM, but hopefully just that. It doesn't churn the hard disk or the CPU. CPU, processes, perfmon, Firefox, okay. Services CPU, double click on the separator between columns in the header. Term service. PIM index. Doesn't ring a bell. Okay. What else do I do? Let's go with download its internal suite. Accept. Download this internal suite. Temp bin, correct. Download it successfully. Right click on it, Shift F10. 7-zip. Yes. This internal suite, process explorer. This guy process exp.exe. Agree. Processes process 3. Double click on a file to see the command line, to see the path of the exe file, of the entry point, and a ton of information when the process started, if it's 64-bit, if dep is enabled, it's always enabled, if UAC is enabled, etc. Interesting is the tab strings. The tab environment, which shows the environment variables of the process. Security, useful in order to see if UAC is enforced for this process. Threads. Sometimes the process eats a ton of CPU and just one thread of that process eats 100% CPU, and at least we sometimes we can read the name of the start address of the thread, and we can decide that this thread, I don't know, runs Microsoft Windows Update, and that's why it uses all of the CPU possible. GPU graph, image, performance. Yes, so the handles, there used to be a limitation on how many handles could the process use. This group box here. Okay, we can find a process with this button. Go here. It selected Firefox. It shows that Firefox is a process 3 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children. We can show the lower pane. It shows the DLLs that are loaded by Firefox. So Windows API DLLs from C Windows System 32 and the Mozilla Firefox DLLs from C Program Files Mozilla Firefox. Startup cache. Font cache. Okay, we can see the command line of the process by hovering on top of the process. Okay, we can see handles for this process. So it has opened files, a ton of devices. Windows has devices similar to Linux, so it's /device/, not /dev/. Okay, named pipes. internationalization files, MUI, SQLite databases for fav icons, bookmarks, more named pipes, more internationalization files, and events. So these are used for the wait single, wait multi, wait for multiple objects, directories, to, I don't know what ALPC is, RPC. Okay, threads, billion of threads, maximum possible. Tokens, these are security tokens, and Windows stations. This is the first session of the interactive, the second session, because this is an RDP connection, not the hardware connection. This is the hardware mouse and keyboard and monitor, and this is the remote desktop connection number 1. Okay, we can kill processes, we can kill process trees, we can suspend the process, we can create mini dumps, we can bring the window to front. Okay, so this is it. Thank you.